Welcome to Healers Talk Healing, the podcast where we gather to explore the art and science of holistic healing, uncovering the secrets to a happier, healthier you. I'm your host, Nina Ganguly, and together we will delve into the intriguing world of holistic healing, delving into the mind-body connection, ancient wisdom, and natural remedies. Get ready for enlightening stories, thought-provoking expert interviews, and practical tips that will empower you to unlock your true potential and embrace a vibrant, balanced life. Whether you're an experienced wellness enthusiast or simply curious about the power of healing, join us on this exhilarating journey as we share the wisdom and insights that can truly transform your life. It's time to embark on a voyage towards a happier, healthier you. So, without further ado, let's dive into the captivating world of Healers Talk Healing. Today's episode is powerful because we're diving into something most people struggle with, but rarely truly understand: self-love. We're joined by the incredible Medea Kalantar, an intuitive healer, Reiki master, and teacher who blends Reiki energy with shamanic healing wisdom to guide deep, transformative work. Since beginning her journey in 2016, Medea has dedicated her life to helping others reconnect with themselves and step back into alignment, purpose, and peace. And in this conversation, we go deep into the inner critic, the patterns that keep us stuck, and why healing isn't about fixing yourself, it's about remembering who you truly are. But here's the truth. Healing, it doesn't happen in isolation. It happens in spaces where you're supported, guided, and reminded of your truth when you forget it. So if something in this episode resonates with you and you're ready to go deeper, we'd love to support you inside our Wellness Seekers community. For now, let's dive in. Super excited to have the wonderful Medea Kalantar join us today on Healers Talk Healing. So it's not just me and Lynn, which I know y'all love, but hey, more people, more love, more excitement. And if you have listened in to us having guests on, what is the first question I ask everyone? I will tell you. What is your definition of healing, Medea?
I think my definition of healing is just taking the time to go within and really looking at all your blind spots and figuring out and getting curious of like, what am I getting triggered for? What am I this? So healing is just taking the time to really love yourself and just getting connected back to your heart chakra, back to connection with divine energy, getting out of your head where everybody's in with the 3D world, lack mentality, and coming back into alignment with your heart, which is really leading to gratitude. So for me, healing is getting out of your head, aligning back in your heart, connecting with divine energy. And that's basically healing, really.
Yes, it's gorgeous. I would absolutely agree with that, because all healing, of course, starts from connecting with self, right? And we know that the heart is the most powerful, attractive energy, even more so than the mind. For years, I think, and decades and centuries, it's always been think, use your brain. And yes, we should do that. But the heart is the more powerful, energetic muscle that releases a field that is so wide and so beautiful. So when we're connected with that and in that place of love, yes, everything else literally falls into place. And when your mind is in alignment with it, miracles happen.
I have a question for you. It comes up most of the time when I'm speaking to anybody, where you said, it's about loving yourself. Mm-hmm. And many of us struggle with that piece of loving ourselves. I've struggled with it for many years, understanding what that actually means. And I guess for everybody, it's different. But as a healer, as one of our healing heroes, how do you recommend that we begin to take that on?
So the way you show up for everyone else start showing up for yourself the exact same way.
Mm.
Because we tend to put others first and we put ourselves on the back burner. But the things that people don't seem to understand is that you can't give to others on an empty cup. You have to take time for yourself. You have to fill your cup first before you can give. And everyone, in our generational programming, everyone else came first. And if we took time for ourselves, it was selfish, but it's actually selfless. Because when we're not taking the time to fill our cup, to love ourselves, to give ourselves the grace and whatever we need to do, we're going to then be agitated. We're going to be irritated. So the people that we're supposed to be loving, we're actually not showing up for them fully. So we're doing a disservice to them, and we're doing a disservice to ourselves. So loving yourself is loving everyone around us.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. That makes sense. I want to ask you, because some people aren't always clear
Right.
in whether they're loving themselves or not.
Mm.
It reminds me of the adage of, I'm a loving person. I do all good things. Why do bad things happen to me? How come, I'm not able to have that love for myself? There's always something going on in my relationships or whatever the case may be. So how can a person recognize when they're not really loving themselves?
Mm.
Well, that's beautiful. The first thing you said is how or why. The minute you start asking yourself those questions, you're not loving yourselves, because you're in victim mindset, you're in your brain. We're not in creator energy. Because the thing is, everybody, we have to realize, and it's not about religion, and that's what I want everyone to know. When I say being connected to creator energy, connected to divine, is that God is not outside of us, God is within us, and we're not separate from God. So when you talk about things about yourself and in a negative way and not in a loving space, then you're not loving yourself. And when you're in your head and always critiquing yourself and, that monkey brain that keeps going around and around and around and always saying bad things about it, doesn't mean you're not a good person. Loving yourself and being a good person are two different things. You can be a good person, you can be a kind person, but you're not being good to yourself and you're not being kind to yourself. So how you speak, how you act. So those are all important things of loving yourself. How do you treat yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that makes so much sense. I was just also thinking about how, and what you're saying, and also what you mentioned before about how our generation and even generations today have been programmed to, as you say, believe, oh, we have to fit in. We have to be part of society. And this is how it looks. And this is how you're supposed to be. And this is the way you're supposed to act. And we all receive cues, right, from the world outside of ourselves, other people, situations that happen, so forth.
Mm-hmm.
And then we make judgments about ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're inviting people to do is to not, I do not like using the word not, even though I'm using not a lot.
But right.
What you're inviting people to do is to shift their perspective about who they are, about the divine being they are, that has nothing to do with what other people may think or circumstances they may find themselves in, because they are already divine beings. Is that correct? Is that what I was hearing?
Yeah. So what we have to remember is that when we're in our alignment and we're operating with our heart energy, we're in creator energy. We're not in victim mentality. We're not in low vibration of the ego. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then everything is bliss, because the lessons, the blessings, they're all amazing. It's part of our human experience. We came here for this. We were chosen for this. So experiencing all of this is actually a blessing, but people don't see it that way.
Mm-hmm.
They see it as like, what did I do in my past life? Was I'm a criminal? Was I a horrible person because I'm being punished?
Mm.
Mhm.
But the thing that we have to remember,
Mhm.
God is all loving. There
Mhm.
is no punishment. There is no hell. There is no purgatory. There's no such thing. But
Mhm.
religion, they're here for one reason, to instill fear. And why are they instilling fear? For control and
Yes.
separate and segregate, pin each other against each other. And it doesn't matter if it's religion, if it's race, if it's cultural, if it's you're vax, not vax. It doesn't matter.
Mhm.
They're always trying to control us with fear and control us by separating and pinning each other. But when we shut out that noise and remember we're all one, we're all connected, we're not lacking anything, that you are perfect just the way you are. There's actually nothing wrong with you. And like you said, when people come to me and they say, well, they said, you know what, you're perfect. What I'm going to do is actually just shift the way you look at things, shift the way your perspective, because it doesn't mean it's right or wrong. There's no such
Right.
thing here. And I think
Mhm.
everybody's so up here, it has to be right. It's so black and white. There's no gray area, there's no nothing. But why? We can agree to disagree, and you have the right to your opinions and your perspective just as
Mhm.
much as I do.
Mhm.
But we can be cohesive, we can hear each other out, not talk on top of each other, just listen with our heart, be open and not
Mhm.
judging, criticizing, right? When I say those words, it's up here, we're not here.
Mhm.
That makes
So
sense.
what I'm hearing actually in what you're saying is how we see the world.
Mhm.
If we're judging the world, and I'm saying the world as a whole, the people, the systems, the cultures, the religions, that judgment is actually coming from an internal space and being
Mhm.
projected out there into the world, right? And so as you were talking, I was thinking, of course, of my own journey and, the journey that I think we all continue to be on. It evolves over time. And you said, when people come to you, this is
Mhm.
the one thing you help them do is shift the perspective. So, what are some of the tools that you use or that can help our listeners to begin to shift that perspective? Because for like, I'm I'm trying to think about my own journey again, and when I started shifting perspective, the first thing that came to me and that was given to me was put a name to that voice, name it, claim it. It was not easy to claim. I did not claim it. I did not claim it. I named it. I named her. I might have shared this in other podcasts. Her name is Elvira. She says all kinds of things. And when I first met her, she was loud, like screaming on loudspeaker. She's a lot softer, so she's still there. she's she's a lot softer. But what would you recommend? You know, where do we start?
So that's perfect. It actually segues perfectly into what we're about to talk about, one of the tools that we do. So, exactly what you said. We do a four-step process. I'm sorry. It's called Befriend Your Inner Critic. And the
Mm,
first thing is to give her that inner critic the name. And then you write out what your inner critic is saying. And when that inner critic is saying those things to you, where are you? How are you feeling? What situation are you in? And we're trying to get it out of our head, put it onto paper. Once we get it out of our head and put it onto paper, now it's not running around in our head. We actually can see it, the words in front of us.
mm,
Then the second part, because now we're making it tangible. It's not in our head anymore. We're giving it some physicality, right? We're
Mhm.
putting it on paper. When we see it, then we read it out loud in front of persons, in front of me, for instance. Like I've hosted healing circles with this. So you need a witness.
mm,
You need someone to witness you.
Mhm.
And you need someone to create a safe space where you don't feel being judged, first of all, that you can speak freely and you say you read out the letter, not like robotic, just like if you're talking to a friend.
Mhm.
Then we read the letter again, but at 70% pace. Why do we do it that way? When we slow it down, when we first reading it, we're like, blah, 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 blah. It's not really registering.
Mm.
When we slow it down 70%, all of a sudden, oh, I feel that. And they're like, where are you feeling it? Give it a color, give it a space, give it a shape, right? We're giving that. Then we do it one more time. And what we do is 70%, but now breathe after every sentence, like a deep breath. Now, not only are we feeling it, we are inhaling it and then we're releasing it with the breath. Mm-hmm. Right? So really, really getting into that good stuff. And at the end, we burn it and we celebrate that we have released. So the thing that people need to remember is like, oh, it's my bad side. It's my dark side. It's bad. Nothing is bad. Nothing is good. Okay. You have to remember there cannot be light without darkness. We have to embrace our dark side. There's beauty there. Mm-hmm. Sometimes our dark side is there to save us. Mm-hmm. And we think of it in a negative condensation, in a negative content, you know? So once we stop running away from ourselves, right? Running away of what we think we should be like, or fit in a box of what others should think that we should be like, remove the box. You know, that's why we say nobody puts Medea in a box, not when I'm alive, not when I'm dead. Don't tell me how to live my life. You know what I mean? Don't tell me how to live my life. So, you know, when we start really like living again back to our heart, back to alignment of love. And if you're judging if you're judging the world, your external world is an interior reflection of who you are inside. That means you're judging yourself just as harshly. Mm-hmm. Everything that's coming to you is a mirror reflection of who you are.
Yes.
So instead of saying, oh, I don't want that, you know, when it resists, it will persist. Instead of saying, come on in, what are you here to teach me? I'm surrendering. And this is the thing, allow. Mm-hmm. We don't allow things, we resist it. Mm-hmm. We allow, we don't think about doing and be, we can be being. We can be in the being, in the moment, not thinking about tomorrow, not thinking about what people are going to think of me, what are people perceiving me like, but just really the breath. So the other tool is the breath. Coming back into the breath is the biggest tool we all have. It takes literally not 5 seconds. We know it's not that. At least, 5 minutes. 5 minutes to go from blah, 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 to like, I'm good. Okay, your heart. Breathe in, not from here in the shallow, here deep. Your exhale should be longer than in your inhale. So you'd be so surprised that people don't even know how to breathe properly.
It's true.
The breath is your biggest tool, and that will shift you so quickly, put you back on track. Don't forget, my love, everything is polarity. Excitement, anxiety, the same side of the coin.
Mm-hmm. It feels the same.
Yeah. Where are you sitting in it, though? Are you sitting with the lower vibration, or are you in high frequency? Mm-hmm. The same, energy of, the fingers are getting cold, bubbles in your tummy. When you're nervous and anxiety and you're like, oh my God, I'm so stressed out. But when you're happy and excited, you get those same feelings. So just like my favorite poet, God bless her soul, Maya Angelou, always says, hope and fear cannot occupy the same space. You decide which one you invite in. So you cannot be upset and happy at the same time. You cannot be scared and hopeful at the same time. Remember, you're always choosing. So people have to understand, we cannot control what goes around us. We cannot. Control is it's a farce. Nothing is controlled.
It's a perception.
You're out of control. Everybody thinks, I'm in control. No, you're not. You're not in control. The only thing you can control actually is how you react, how you respond. That's it. So once you remember that, all I can focus now is, how do I react? How do I respond? Someone could be coming at you, rah, 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 rah. Do I match their energy, or I just go, And the minute you do that, they're like, oh, they're not so heightened either. They're like, oh,
Yes.
it's that simple.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many other tools, but I'm just giving you the main thing.
Yes, but those are such beautiful and wonderful tools to be able to use that are actually very simple as you practice it. Of course, everything takes practice. At first, sometimes people may go, "This is so hard." Well, as you keep practicing, and even if in the beginning they feel like they're hard, just acknowledge the fact that in that moment you are doing it so that you can continue to progress in being able to love yourself.
Correct. I love
And
that you said that.
yes, and as you
It is part
continue
of your
to
self-love
practice it,
work.
yes, it is.
Absolutely.
It is.
It's
It's
interesting
so
you said that.
remembering also, like, you got the toolbox, you got the tools, but sometimes the toolbox is all the way somewhere else. You
And
gotta
that's
go and
okay.
remember to use the
It, it
tools.
may it may feel that way, but the reality is, as Medea was saying, if you can even just do one thing and ask yourself, what am I choosing at this second? And being very, very present. One thing I wanted to mention, a couple of things. First of all, you're so right about heaven, hell, purgatory, whatever. They're states of consciousness. They're states of being and states of awareness. And so you can ask yourself in every moment, what am I aware of or paying attention to in this moment? And when you find yourself perhaps having the strong critic or, whatever comes up in that way, that's a moment when you can also choose. I find that, and this is something I'm working on right now, is that when I am 100% present in, I consider it to be fully in my body. And when I'm in my body, of course, the heart is what is the most radiant and significant aspect.
Mhm.
Everything else outside of me slows down naturally.
Mm.
It moves at a pace that is so slow, I feel as if I've run 10 miles in the space of that 1 second. But it's because you're so present with what's happening in that moment that you're able, I guess some people call it hyper focused. I don't, that may be an aspect of it, but it is such a beautiful space because in that space,
Mhm.
only love exists. There's literally nothing else. There's no room for judgment. There's no room for criticism. There's no room for denial. There's no room for fear or anxiety. There's just no room for anything, literally. It's just being. And then you can experience an opening that goes beyond that, where your entire consciousness and self moves into what I call a state of heaven, whatever that means for that person at
Correct.
that time.
Yes.
As the both of you are speaking, I'm thinking about um, those moments, and for our listeners, because I always want to bring it back kind of to I'm going to say a level playing field of understanding, because we use words sometimes that not everyone's going to get. But the moment where you feel your bliss, the moment where the noise does stop, we all have it, even the lovely people with the noise in their brains, the anxious brains, the ADHD brains. There are moments of quiet and peace, whether they're short-lived or not. And so I'll just give you an example. For me, it's always when I'm on the shore. I'm like I've got my feet in the sand and the water's hitting my feet, and I feel like I'm at one with both earth and ocean. And that is the moment where all the noise stops for me. It doesn't stop for very long, because I realize my brain just goes a lot. It doesn't stop for long, but it's that moment where I'm like, oh. And you're right, there is no thought that there's something wrong with the water, there's something wrong with the sand, the sun's not out enough, or there's too many clouds, whatever. none of that happens in that moment if you allow all of that to slip away and fall away. And you're right, Medea, it doesn't take much of a moment. It just takes a little bit for you to just be in that, oh, that's quiet.
And that moment looks different for everyone.
Absolutely.
And I think this is the thing that people need to understand. Everyone, for some reason, thinks meditation is sitting in lotus position going,
Right.
right? It's actually not. Your meditation could be at the gym working out because you're so zoned out. All you feel is just working out. So it's allowing your mind to slow down. You're just focusing on this one area, and that's it. It could be walking in nature. Like you said, it could be being in water. It could be swimming. It could be listening to music. It could be dancing. Whatever it is, find what brings you the joy. And that's what it is. Bring joy back into your life. And it has to be something that as soon as you in that space, you just light up automatically. For me, it's sunshine and the ocean and the nature. It's also seeing my friends. It's also seeing my grandbabies. It's like little things. I hear music or I smell something reminds me of someone I loved. Everything is just in that moment of just stillness. Be present. Being present in that moment. And the other thing that I wanted to just, if I may touch upon, people are so concerned of what's going on around the world. That they're always focusing on what's other. And I always say to everyone, my loves, you want to help humanity? Do you know what's the best thing you can do? Work on yourself. When you heal your hidden wounds, your mother wounds, your father wounds, your self-love issues, whatever it is, your inner critic, whatever it is, you are whatever energy you're emanating out into the world, that is the energy that is existing in the world. So if you're emanating love and positive energy, then that is helping the world. But if you're emanating judgment, criticism, oh, this person did this orange person did this person did that person from that country did that. Remember, my loves, everyone here has a role to play. And there are no small roles. And everyone here is a student and a teacher, and the roles always flip around. So it doesn't matter if you're 1 minute old or 110 years old, or if you're the person who cleaned the street or you're the Dalai Lama. We're all one. There is no difference. There's higher levels of consciousness, and that's different. But there's no difference. People always say, oh, this person's higher and mighty. No, nobody is higher than you, my love. Stop making people to be your messiah or your, whatever.
Right, guru or whatever.
Guru, all of that. For me, the minute someone says that to me, I'm like, oh, you're operating out of ego. Okay, my love, no problem. You do you, boo. You know what I mean? But focus on your energy. When you focus on your energy, you actually are helping the world.
Absolutely. For every one person that heals or moves closer to their divinity.
Yes.
Technically, everyone is already healed, but has not recognized it, acknowledged it, and are aware of it.
Correct.
But when you move closer to the full essence of your divine higher self, which is who you really are anyway.
Correct.
For every one person, as you said, reverberates out into the world, and there are over 1,000 people that are affected. So even in this conversation we're having right now, for everyone who's tuning in, and for those who tune in, because some of those who have tuned in directly will share something with other people who may tune in, who will share with other people, and each one of those will receive what they need for themselves to move closer to their divine essence. And as they do that, they take that energy just what you said, Medea, out into the world. They interact with, a salesperson, the grocery clerk, the
Yep.
whomever, who
Yep.
also starts feeling great
Yep.
and gets a little bit of that essence. And then they're serving other people or customers or whatever, and they start to feel better. It
Yep.
is a reverberation. I said 1,000, really, it's tens of thousands of people. So
Absolutely.
I just really want to acknowledge what you're saying, because that is how we're all connected
Mhm.
and the way energy moves. So yes, that's beautiful.
And
Yeah.
watch that. So my husband he does it all the time. He's in the line up somewhere. I'm usually in La La Land looking around doing something, but he engages with people a lot better than I do. But he will look at the cashier's face and notice whether that person's off, and he'll always say, "How's your day going?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And there you can just see the whole
Mhm.
shift, right? You've got a cashier who's
Yeah.
just putting things through, and all of a sudden he engages and he says, "Well, how's your day going?" And it changes, and they engage in conversation, and now they've shifted. And the person behind us now is going to reap the rewards of that shift.
That's
And a
right.
friend of mine used to always say, it doesn't hurt to smile at someone.
Right.
It's not taking anything out of you if you're walking by someone to make eye contact and smile.
Yes. Yeah, because kindness is a gift we can all afford to give. The thing is that people have to understand each one of us, like you've heard me say this before, but I'm going to say it for the people who've never heard me say it. Each one of us can make a difference in this world. We all have the ability.
Yeah, we all do.
Together, we make a change.
Mm-hmm.
How the shift happens, the
Mm-hmm.
shift in energy, right? And like you said, just by smiling at someone or opening the door, like, hey, how's your day going? You just see them light up. Like for me, I make sure I'm in the elevator. I talk to everyone that walks in. Hey, how your day going today? Good morning.
She's not just not saying that, ladies and gentlemen. I know Medea very personally, and it's true. She does. She says hello to everybody,
Yep.
opens the door. She is very kind.
Yes, because the thing is, how can I be the teacher? Like they say, don't be the preacher, be the teacher. And
Mm-hmm.
how the teacher works is by leading by example. I don't talk about it. I do it. And then people will follow because they see me doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, like share your story, because your story could be someone else's survival guide. If we're
Absolutely.
all sharing our experience, we're all opening up. And oh my God, that's what happened to me. And the thing is, there's so many things that's so taboo. We don't talk about this. But no, we need to open the door. We need to open the space that there's no judgment. It's a safe space. And that's what we bring to the table, all of us, with
Mm-hmm.
whatever we're showing up as a coach, as a healer, as a reader, whatever you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
We're opening up that space, that loving space, so people can come in and show authentically as themselves, for once not wearing the mask of what they thought their parents wanted them to be, or their
Right.
teachers wanted to be, or their pastor wanted to be.
Mm-hmm.
They
Mm-hmm.
can be them, and they can be proud of who they are.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I think for those who are starting on their journey, I'd like to say, hey, it's okay if you don't know. If you don't know what necessarily brings you joy, if you don't know what it means to show up authentically, because that's like, a lot of us are being somebody for someone else,
All
right?
right.
So the labels that we carry, somebody's son, daughter, husband, coworker, all of whatever of those labels are that we step into and we take on, it's okay if you don't know who you are without all those labels. That's where the journey can begin, is just, oh, okay, well then who do I want to be? How do I connect to myself? And I just want to say this for the beginners who are listening in, who this is their first conversation about self-love, about frequencies, about understanding. You don't have to know. There's no, you show up and you've got to be a certain way. And I think Medea has alluded to that a few times. You don't have to know. All you have to do is be open up your heart space for yourself. And when you take the journey, I really implore you, do it for yourself.
Yes.
100%. And what I just kind of go back to my original where I says, don't put me in a box, meaning the labels, son, daughter, this, that, I'm a coach, I'm a this, I'm a teacher, I'm a this. Remember, when God was asked, what is your name? I am that I am.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, I don't need labels. I'm okay with who I am. I am that I am. That's
Mm-hmm.
it. It's as simple as that.
Yes.
I am.
Yes. Well, that's what it's all about, and discovering that, everyone discovering that within themselves and who they are. I wanted to share one more thing.
Mhm.
My aunt, she was really a blessed person. She was always in joy. In fact, she would often say, I am joyful Jackie.
Mm.
Mm.
And her email was Jackie with joy. And
Mm.
I just wanted to share, based on everything that you've been saying, and Nina, you've been sharing as well. Being in your joy is how you can be in your passion.
Mm.
And when you are in your joy, you will be in your passion, and you will be living passionately. And that level of passion and excitement will help you to discover who you are and how you're choosing to be in every given present moment.
Mhm.
And it's actually that simple. But if you don't know in the beginning, it is okay. And accept the fact that I don't know what that is. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know. Am I supposed to put my left hand up and, rub my belly? Or what do I
Yeah.
do to make that happen, right?
Go
You,
back to
you,
the
can-
breath.
you can ask those questions and go, okay, this feels weird, but it's okay.
Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
okay because I'm moving into a discovery process of me. And there's nothing more beautiful. And when you are in that place and move into that place, that's where joy and passion is. Your heart, of course, is absolutely open, cannot stay closed when you're in that space.
Mhm.
And it's a remarkable experience. So whatever it is, just start right from where you are. um, I'm laughing because I often tell people, I said, after this life experience, this is it for me.
Hey,
And
I'm done.
people say, "Oh, really? How do you know?" And I said, "Well, it's just a knowingness."
Yeah.
I said, "In fact, I think the last lifetime was it, but I was sitting at the bar having several drinks." And one of my angelic guides said, "Hey, how would you like to go back to Earth and do some things and teach this and operate in this way and be a marvelous lesson for those that are around you, and they can be a lesson for you so you can continue to grow and ascend." And I'm like, "Hell yeah, great, yeah."
Like, you know
But
what?
when you want
One more
when
time.
you want me to go?
One more time. Uno más. Yeah.
Because sometimes we, based on our programming and based on so many different experiences, we often feel like, man, there's no way I could have signed up for this.
Yep.
But, but the
We all
truth
said
is,
we must have been drinking some serious Kool-Aid. Who on the right on mind would sign up for all the BS that I had to go through?
And what's
yes.
so
Really?
funny,
Really?
the most
And
hilarious thing, I think, Medea and we've had these conversations like,
Yeah.
okay, so somewhere along the line, our souls are up there. Okay, so you're going to be the one that shows up and triggers me and just drives me nuts. And you're like, okay. So I'm going to go over there and trigger them. And then it's all fun and games till we get here. And then we're like, oh my God. And it is a game, by the way, FYI, just so you know. We
it
show
is.
up. This is a game. We take it so seriously.
The
We do.
playground. The thing is, we're all children at the end of the
Yes,
day, and we're playing a game,
we
and
are.
we're playing with each other. And some play nice, some people don't. You know what I mean? And that's okay, because it's funny. Because like I told Dina that every time the four of us together, because we have our little group here. When I see us, I don't see us as adults. I see us as little girls.
Ah.
Our inner child comes out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the most beautiful thing, because like it's just like, and we're all children at the end of the day. We're all these little kids, and we're pretending to be, we're grown up, we know what we're doing, we're just pretending sometimes, fake it to the make it, because that's what we're told to
Oh,
do.
it's all pretend.
It's all pretending.
It's all pretend anyway. It's an illusion.
But when you just allow yourself to be that child
Mm-hmm.
of the world, and let the world be your playground, and play in it the way you're meant to be,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
then it's like, oh, this is fun.
This is fun. And be grateful.
And
That's
be
where the
grateful.
gratefulness comes in. Because
It's
no matter
true.
what you experience, you move into that place of gratefulness and thankfulness and all of that. So
Yeah.
yes.
Thank you for reminding me, because you know what? It brought back a memory of childhood. Do you remember when you used to play make believe, and you literally your friends or your sisters, brothers, you're all sitting around going, okay, so we're gonna play this game, and you're gonna do this, and then I'm gonna do this, and you're gonna do this, and I'm gonna do this. Okay, ready? Go. And we literally no thoughts, no, but I can't do this, but I can't. No, we all fall into our roles and we play make believe, and then we get called in for dinner. It's over, and then the next day we start again. And I think this is what I've taken away from our conversation is, well, more than just one thing: the joy, the quietness of the mind, and the playfulness. The playfulness. Life is a game.
It is. Life is but a dream, right?
Yes.
Life is but a dream. When you take a child and you say, go sit beside that boy or girl or whatever, like it doesn't matter. You ask them what color, they're like, what are you talking about? I was just with the boy, was with the girl. They don't look at color, they don't look at race, they don't look
That's
at
right.
They're looking at, I just with this person, this person's like me, and we're just gonna play, and that's it. And if we just remember to go back to simplicity, we don't have to, everything is so complicated. If you just take away all the complication, and people say, oh, I have to change who I am. I'm saying, no, you're perfect just the way you are. We have to deprogram all the crap people told you, all the stuff you learned. And remember who you truly are. Remember who you are. Like Simba, remember who you are.
I was just going to say, Simba, remember who you are.
It's true though. Like,
yeah, it is.
There's so much movies.
You said a really important word that I want to just highlight, which is the deprogramming.
Yeah.
The deprogramming. I'm at a loss for words, because the deprogramming is allowing for the essence, your essence, the essence. Like, we're in a body.
Yes.
But this body is driven by an essence. That essence came from the ether out there, came through the womb, and came out into a body. And then life happens. That's the truth. Life does happen. We're surrounded by people whose also life is happening. And, their view of the world is being imprinted on your view of the world. And some of that essence gets forgotten. I think we say lost, but it's not lost. It's just forgotten. So when people are saying they're trying to find themselves, but you've said it, we've said it in different ways today. We're not lost. We just forgot. So if we can deprogram and remember to come back and remember that we are love. We are, like, our essence is the consciousness. I'm using big words now. Consciousness of love consciousness. When we can come back to that and not having to do it alone, that's why we have healing heroes like Medea and, to come and help and hold our hand. You don't have to do this alone.
Exactly.
I think sometimes fear holds us back in reaching out for that support, for someone who's, we're only just a couple of steps ahead, by the way. It's not like we've got all this figured out.
Nope.
We're just a couple of steps ahead. And I implore those of you who are listening, who are kind of in the space of like, well, how do I do this? Well, you can do it with the help of a healer, a coach, a Reiki master, all the things that you are, Medea, that we all are, that we come together and we hold space and hold your hand.
Mm-hmm.
And healers need healers, by the way.
We do. That's why
it's not like we're out here being like, hey, I'm a healer, I don't need help. Nuh-uh.
Oh no, it's not like that at all.
Tells me I'm healed, that I don't need any more work, and I'm like, that's cool for you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I invest in myself with other people because I'm still learning. I'm still growing.
Absolutely.
It's a never ending. It's a never ending story. It's a never ending story. So the thing is, but we're evolving, we're growing. And the thing is that what happens is you don't go down the rabbit hole. You come out faster because now you have an awareness, and that's all we're really doing is like, we're holding this beautiful, loving space. We're just a conduit. When people say, Medea, you healed me, I didn't do anything. I allowed you to show up in the essence of divinity, to remember who you were. That is exactly what I did. And I just gently, maybe over here, I just think of it like a child on a tricycle for the first time, removing the safety wheels. And you got this. I'm not riding the bicycle, you are, but I'm just like,
you're kind of the guard rails, just outside of them,
We're just helping you, creating the space that you are seen, you are heard, you are valued, you are loved. And I marinate you with all that juicy love energy so much. You're like, oh, that's what it feels like. Again.
That is so beautiful. And with that, I would like to say, if you want to be marinated in all that
I love,
come to our site, because that's where you can find Medea's information, and we will definitely put it in the show notes. And don't be afraid of your blind spots, because that's where the juice is. The blind spots is where the growth is. The blind spot is where you're going to learn to love yourself. And is it easy? It could be.
It can be.
It could be. But I will tell you more likely it won't be, because the ego is going to be like, but that's not what I believe about myself. And that is okay. You are perfectly okay wherever you're at in your journey of healing, of discovery, of self-love. And we are here. And the reason we do all of this, everything at, Miracles Ultimate Wellness Resources, is to hold your hand and help you along. Yes. So thank you so much, Medea, for joining us, sharing your light and love with us.
Creating this space, and for just the love that each of you bring into not only my life, but to humanity. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, thank you for doing the same. We are mirrors, aren't we?
We are.
All right, everyone. Bye for now. Thank you for joining us today on Healers Talk Healing. We hope you've been inspired and empowered on your holistic healing journey. If you've enjoyed today's episode and want to continue learning and growing with us, don't forget to subscribe, follow, rate, and review our podcast. Your feedback and support mean the world to us. Remember, healing is a lifelong journey, and you have the power to transform your life in profound ways. Stay curious, keep exploring, and never stop believing in your own capacity for healing.